Star Wars Allegiance by Ethan Sachs with art by Luke Ross was the comic installment of the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker line of stories. The First Order is on the hunt for the Resistance throughout the galaxy, destroying any world that even remotely helps General Organa and her allies. Refusing to sit idly by, Leia heads to Mon Cala with Rey and Rose to ask the King to help fight against oppression once more. Fearing First Order retribution, a Quarren contacts General Hux, rats them out, and then tries to assassinate the Resistance heroes to prove where their loyalties lie. The King and even Quarren leadership denounce those actions and decide to help Leia, providing her with a handful of ships with which to escape along with Aftab Ackbar, the son of Admiral Ackbar. Unfortunately, the planet falls under First Order occupation once they leave. Meanwhile, Finn and Poe run into their own problems with some bounty hunters trying to cash in on Resistance fugitives. They happen to be the same mercenaries from the Galaxy's Edge comic, but Finn and Poe escape them easily enough and head back to the Resistance base. This comic mostly seems to serve as an introduction to the character of Aftab, which is cool, and I do think he'll be appearing in the Rise of Skywalker, but the rest of the Mon Cala contributions to the effort were pretty slim. I guess this is showing us that even the people Leia should have been able to count on the most are under tough times. The First Order is really cracking down on any Resistance sympathizers, and people are afraid. Something similar can be seen in the book Resistance Reborn. The Rebel Alliance was largely supported by the Mon Calamari. This comic basically takes them out of the fight, leaving them with only a few ships and the son of a war hero. It's like a message to the galaxy that you can't just sit around and wait for the heroes who came before to save the day again. Rey couldn't rely on Luke, and although he did eventually help, she had to accept the burden of fighting for herself. I think in Episode 9 we're going to see that the galaxy has to come together in an even bigger way than it did for the Galactic Civil War. They'll have to see the possibility of an empire reborn and decide, as one, not to let that happen. That's what that massive fleet of ships from the trailer tells me. Everyone is joining in the fight. This isn't some desperate all-or-nothing attack from a handful of rebel ships that just got lucky against the second Death Star. This time, things might be more even, and it's because the rest of the galaxy decides it can't just sit around and hope for the best. That's what I got out of the Leia, Rey, and Rose half of the story anyway. I'm not sure what the point of the Finn and Poe half was. Maybe to show people like the mercenaries who likely won't be joining the fight against the First Order. There are people out there happy enough to sit on the sidelines and profit from a bad situation. It just kind of feels like a repeat of DJ's story in The Last Jedi. Not every scoundrel has a heart of gold. Some people just suck. I did appreciate those characters being carryovers from the Galaxy's Edge comic, and this is technically a prequel to that story. This series had a handful of cool new details, like our first look at a First Order bomber. The Resistance is hiding out on Anawat, described as a garbage planet, which was first seen in the game Dark Forces, where you have to navigate a maze of sewers. The shipyards of Fondor also appear, now under First Order control. There's some cool stuff in there, but I don't know that I'd call Allegiance a must-read. The biggest in-universe takeaway is that the Resistance gets some Mon Calamari ships, and it's not even that many. I think the story is more about thematically leading into what we'll see in The Rise of Skywalker, but that's just my guess. We won't know until the movie's out. Let me know what you thought of the series in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.